Hello, everyone. This is Victoria, and I'm here with your Mercury Retrograde special edition reading. So, as I've been talking about it quite a lot in the recent days, by now, if you're on my channel, you already know that we are about to embark onto the Mercury Retrograde, which lasts for 3 weeks. We've already been in a shadow period for a couple of weeks, so some of you may already have experienced certain consequences, side effects, right, that pretty much everyone these days knows about, which will include things like some kind of miscommunication, could be difficulties with technology or technology breaking down, travel kind of issues, says the person who is like traveling on and on during this time. But so yeah, what I'm trying to say is that of course we have heard about that a lot. That's not what we're here to do today. I'm here to give you a reading and more information on what you can unlock for yourself during this time, right? And it's important to make the right emphasis or to focus on the right things during this time. Of course, it means that if you're about to sign an important contract, maybe sleep on it, read the fine print. Like, all these things matter a lot. Nobody's saying that suddenly it doesn't, right? Like, that's important, but it shouldn't create fear in you where you would be like, oh no, I'm not going into anything, not signing anything, I'm not traveling because this is going to be a disaster and I have enough on my plate, right? That's not the point. In terms of what you're focusing on, or what you can create, of course, Mercury retrograde is asking us to turn inwards, to see what our relationship is with ourselves. How do we communicate to ourselves about ourselves and about the world around us? And this is where there's a lot of potential for you to work with and to look at. And since this Mercury retrograde is in Leo, Leo is the energy of being seen. So essentially, when Mercury starts its retrograde, it's asking us to look at how do we see ourselves first and foremost. Do we feel seen by ourselves? Do we give ourselves enough attention, enough airtime, if you wish, in more modern terms, right? To hear, to see ourselves, to be nurtured, protected, cared for by ourselves, right? And that should then, that relationship or anything that you see you can tweak and improve will then dictate also how do you relate to others, right? Especially if you already have some topics, and I feel like we all have them on certain levels where you already may not feel seen by others. Something is blocking you from shining, from expressing yourself and your potential, with this kind of themes, right? This is what it can help with. But let's get into tarot, and today I'm gonna do a 3-question reading. Well, we'll start actually with oracle cards, and we'll pull 2 cards for the main themes of this Mercury retrograde, in addition to what I've already given you right now. And then we'll go into tarot, and the questions we're gonna ask. The first question is gonna be, how is this Mercury retrograde impacting my relationship with myself, right? And what kind of opportunities do I receive during this time? The second question is going to be, how is this Mercury retrograde impacting my relationships with other people, the way I connect to others and the way I communicate? Because Mercury is about communication and connection. And the third question is going to be, what can I do to improve or to get to where I want to be? All right, so without further ado, let's get started. Hopefully this is not going to be a very long reading. Every time I take a break from a reading, like the next day, it becomes somehow very lengthy. And now that I'm saying it, I realized that I just did the reading yesterday. Yes. Sometimes days merge when there's a lot going on. Also, while I'm recording, I just want to say that I'm noticing, like, in this time, because the lighting is pretty good when I'm recording, I can see like the difference of color between my tan skin and my hands, like the inner parts of my palms, where it's like not tan, and the difference between them, it's such a dramatic difference. I swear I don't have spray tan on. This is just Florida sun after a few layers of Arizona sun. And tomorrow I'll travel closer to home, and there will be another oceanside scene for another week. But anyway, rainbow blessings, first theme. This is a very important theme for Leo energy and in connection with Leo. It says blessings are showering your life. It's very important to see yourself that way. Like, I'm special, you know, I'm already blessed, I'm chosen, you know, I'm God's child. Whatever feels closer to you, whichever version of this saying, of this mantra, of this message, use it. Like, this is what you need right now, right? And this is what's gonna help you really anchor that sunny energy of Leo. The second theme is unknown territory. You're exactly where you need to be. And again, showing gratitude and appreciation for where you are right now, and finding your spotlight, finding your place to shine where you are, right? Some of us wait for the perfect moment to do that special thing, whatever it is, you know, to start shining your light. But the truth is, there's never a perfect moment for that. It's important to find that opportunity where you are at this time. Okay, with all that said, we'll go with the answers to the questions. I'll lay out the cards and then I'll walk you through it. I'm not gonna do zodiac signs today, but we will do zodiac signs for the upcoming new moon energy, so stick around for that. It's coming up sooner than you think. And by the way, for Leo, happy birthday, Leo. So the first question is, what can I learn and what is the opportunity in terms of my relationship with myself? And we have 9 of Cups, the World, and Queen of Swords. The second question is, what can I learn and what is the opportunity that's been unlocked in terms of my relationships with other people and my communication with them? 5 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, lovely. The Lovers, look at that, jackpot. And then finally, what is the action? What can I do to improve the situation in terms of my relationship with myself and or with others? 10 of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Star, beautiful. All right, bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's definitely an opportunity to build something beautiful and exciting as a result of this. So, and that's what I was talking about when I said that it's important how you phrase, and again, phrase, communication, how you speak about this Mercury retrograde time. Because if you're going to focus on the fear of, you know, something getting confused, broken, I don't know, something like that, you know, like on the negative side of it, so that's what you're gonna attract, right? Because then reality will respond, will mirror that into the outside world. But if we're focusing on the opportunities and the learning, that's, you know, that's gonna be a totally different experience for you. So, first question, relationship to yourself, what can you learn? So first and foremost, you're learning that you are the one creating the life of your dreams, you know, your fantasy, whatever that is, whatever that lifestyle is, right? But you need to be very firm and honest about it. Like, this is not the time to play small. It's also not the time to please someone else, right? This is about you. And if some of you are in committed relationships and you're like, well, this can't just be about me, you know, I have to discuss and agree with my person, maybe even with kids or somebody else who is important in your life and close to you. But that's the thing, that's the trick. See how, and it doesn't have to be either or, by the way, either. You can find compromise, but that compromise cannot negate what you want to create for yourself, what's important to you personally, right? And this is not the time to say, oh, but you know, what I want doesn't really matter because I want my loved ones to be happy. Like, no. That's exactly what we're trying to address here, right? What is your world like? How do you see yourself in your world, right? You need to remember that you are the genie in the bottle for yourself. You are getting those desires to come true. First of all, realign on what it is, the vision, right? And then take firm steps towards it. There is no workaround, right? And it's not the time to like just wait for a better time, you know? It's like, no, the opposite. You're supposed to put yourself in the center of attention in your life. Talking about the relationship with others. We have 5 of Swords, started a little rocky here, but also 6 of Pentacles, and the Lovers. So, beautiful unfolding, right? It's like when you stop deceiving yourself on what is it that you want to create, when you are more authentic and unbiased in your communication, like you're not having, and I know like it sometimes sounds pretty rough and pretty rude to people when we start talking about these things, like, oh, you have an agenda or you're manipulating the situation, and it sounds so terrible. But the truth is, that's natural part of ego. Like we all at some point in our lives manipulate the situation. It's just a given. It's more about how much you do it, and you know, how much of your life does it take up. And in relationships, at least in trusted, close relationships, you don't want to manipulate the situation, right? At least not on the regular basis. And that's where awareness could be very helpful for many people, just at least to notice, like, why is this particular question so important to me? Why am I like, you know, using all my tools in my toolbox to get this person to agree to something I want to do, to this specific thing? Why is it important? And why is it like a matter of life and death for them to agree with it, right? Like, start questioning that. And the more whys you ask, the deeper you can go into why do you need it even, right? Like, what do you get out of it? And that's where you'll see the agenda, the bias that you have, right? So it's like looking into that bias and becoming more sincere in giving and also in receiving. And this is a general reading, so I won't be able to go much into details, of course, into different scenarios of where the blockages could be. For some people it's more giving, for some people it's more receiving. A lot of times it's actually both. So I'm just putting it out there, and you can research this topic if it's new for you. What does it mean to be able to give and to receive in a trusted relationship? And how can you improve on that? Because that's Mercury Retrograde energy, really, right? Like retrospect, introspect, how you can make this better, right? Maybe there are some blind spots that you've missed altogether. If you, like, I'm talking through this and you're blank, gives you 0 ideas, talk to somebody you trust, one of your close people. It could be a life partner, a friend, a family member, doesn't matter. The important part is ask them for some feedback, honest feedback, right? Ask somebody who you think will give you that honest feedback. And you can explain that, you know, I want to improve. I see sometimes that it's not very healthy the way we agree about stuff. Even if I get my way, you know, like it's not great, and it doesn't feel good. So I want to know more of what happens in the middle, so maybe I can do it better, right? And that way you will know yourself better. What are your motivations, right? Also, what are your fears in relationships? And you will be able to relate to another person in a much more loving way. And again, the lovers are not just about romantic relationships, but it is about close relationships, right? Where you can show up in a more loving way and you'll be able to receive more of that love. And finally, action items. We have 10 of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and the Star. Essentially, you are supposed to create that future vision of what that happily ever after looks for you, or whatever that the good version or the great even version of that relationship is. Maybe the relationship you're questioning is with your parent or your children or your friend from college or something, right? Doesn't matter. What does good look like in that relationship, right? You need to build a picture. And then, you know, these are major arcana. So this card is about let go and let God, right? You build a picture, we already discussed, you have your homework, your action items, but don't sweat, don't put too much pressure on yourself to get a certain result, right? This is where you send in that intention to the universe is gonna help you out with that. Your task is to look on yourself and see what can you heal, how you can bring more alignment and more high vibrational energy into your life so that you're not showing up in the energy of scarcity, or scarcity, but you are showing up in the energy of abundance. With all that said, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I'm wishing you all the best for this Mercury retrograde, and of course I'll be here during this time and we'll have more readings to look into energies. If you have specific questions, ask me in the comments, and of course like the video, subscribe to my channel, and until next time.